XDefiant, to the surprise of no one, has finally just announced a shutdown date. And personally, I actually played quite a bit of XDefiant, but I quit playing for a few very important reasons, which I believe to be the main cause of the downfall of XDefiant. Today I'm going to break down why exactly I feel like XDefiant was always doomed to fail. But before I get started, I want to give a massive shout out to the channel members. If you guys want a shout out at the start of each video, as well as some badges that level up over time, and even some custom emotes for the live streams, then consider becoming a member today. But let's go ahead, cut this plug, and get right into it here. Starting off, I want to talk about what was probably the #1 problem with this game, and that is the fact that Ubisoft forces people to use their trashy launcher. There is actually zero legitimate reason that XDefiant should not have launched on Steam, which is creating friction for people before they even enter the game by forcing them into a launcher that is objectively worse than even the Epic Games launcher. It's really not rocket science here to say that the game would have had a higher player count if it had launched onto Steam, but the question is, would launching on Steam have fixed the inevitable shutdown of XDefiant? And I would say no, because there are about a dozen other problems that the game has, such as massive desync and hit registration problems, as well as overall game balance being so out of whack. Starting on day one, it was a problem. XDefiant's hit registration problem is one that some people claim is unfixable due to the game's tick rate. I'm not wanting to dive into the technicalities here, but the hit registration was atrocious in XDefiant, and this only exacerbated the amount of desync that you felt inside of the game. This, of course, begs to question, if XDefiant launched on Steam and was even remotely polished, would it survive the long haul? And my answer here is still no, and this is for one main reason that some people are definitely going to disagree with, but I think it holds true, and that is the fact that team-based multiplayer respawn, die respawn arcade shooters are a dying genre. Multiplayer team deathmatch and the likes are redundant and boring. This isn't the first video I've made calling out the redundancy and boringness of these team-based shooters. It's an outdated game mode that really, in all honesty, cater to a very small and dying audience. Halo Infinite actually suffered this same fate, and I'm baffled that it hasn't shut down yet. At the end of the day, multiplayer team deathmatch gameplay is just not engaging enough to keep people playing and doing the same redundant thing over and over and over again. Call of Duty's multiplayer numbers are so bad that they squished all of their game modes into one category on Steam to pretend like the yearly multiplayer release is not dead content, was not a complete waste of time and development, which it is. The same recipe of die, respawn, die in each of the year's iterations, which only sees popularity in the pre-Warzone COD mashup that they do each year. And this is mainly because people are leveling up weapons for Warzone. The team-based multiplayer respawn shooter genre is dead. XDefiant is another nail in the coffin, and honestly, I think it's only a matter of time before development studios and teams stop wasting time on projects like this and turn towards what seem to be the new trend, which is extraction and battle royale shooters. Games where something is actually on the line. You die, you lose. On top of all that, something that the extraction and battle royales bring to the table that no team-based respawn shooter can bring, and that is the match variety. There is practically a 0% chance that you can replicate an exact match of Apex Legends, and it is a 0% chance that you can replicate the exact match consistently, meaning that each game is going to have something unique happening inside of it. Different rotations to be had, different fights in different areas. Each and every game has something that you just cannot get out of multiplayer shooters. And at the end of the day, I think that is the main reason that XDefiant is shutting down. I'm honestly surprised Halo Infinite hasn't shut down yet, and honestly, I think that in less than 5 years, Call of Duty will not be wasting time developing a yearly multiplayer. Instead, they're just gonna transition into what works and what is not a waste of development time. But be sure to let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comments, because that's all I wanted to break down today. Let me know if you're still playing XDefiant to this day. I uninstalled that stupid launcher about a year ago. But other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm out.